Artemisia Gentileschi was a huge influence for us, a Baroque painter who had very Caravagesque sort of influences of lighting that are very unidirectional, sort of light and dark. So creating that drama visually was a huge influence.
So successful. All right, I'm gonna jump to you two, Joy and Rebecca, real quick. So I'll start with Mitzi. Let's make Mitzi blush time. Can you two, especially because you have training as an actor, right, and experience acting, can you tell me something about her as an actor's director that you really appreciated and I don't know made you feel understood because she has experience doing your craft? Is that me? Okay.
Hello? Oh, yeah. All three of them. Wow. Great job, Mitzi. Again, really great job. The thing that strikes me about Mitzi, she really brought a real kind of nobility and courage to her stance on the set. It was only her second film, and it was extremely daunting to make this film. It was 15 days, right? And I did not know how she was going to do that. I really didn't know how she was going to do that. And she just dug in a way that was very empowering. As a director of actors, I didn't really know that you had been an actor, but what I saw, and she started a conversation really on the set. It was a conversation with us actors. We were talking about the themes of what the movie really is, and she listened very much, I remember, to both me and Bella of what we really were doing. Like, she trusted us of what we were doing, and it was like a conversation rather than a rehearsal. It was a conversation that we had and that we were all comfortable in together, and then somehow or other she started the camera rolling. And it was not like, okay, rehearsal and now action. It was, we sort of swam in it together until we were suddenly doing it. And that's what she did. Okay, she's gonna have.
Because I think it's helpful if anybody here is into this and wants to make cinema. One of the things that I went to theater conservatory. I know to get out of the way of actors, like especially when they're of this caliber. I think that it's important to make sure that they feel the director trusts them. I know it sounds banal, but it's the truth. And I remember one time Rebecca goes, we're rehearsing, and she goes, I feel fake. And I'm like, let's muscle through this. And we rewrote a scene on the spot, because the writer can only do so much objectively. It's a blueprint. But then you have the actors on set, and they're bringing so much humanity and so much gravitas, and all of a sudden you have to confront yourself with, oh, perhaps I wrote a line that didn't need to be there, and you have to let it go and trust that the other person has the best interest in mind. And that's the whole trick about filmmaking. It's a incredibly collaborative effort, and without trust, you're not gonna get far.
Joy, I don't mean to cut you off, but can I follow up on that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Can you tell us, Mitzi, what scene that was, the one that went through the rewrite, maybe what changed from script to screen most?
So, 15 days, whatever, we've said it 1,000 times. But so Rebecca, is it okay if I say this? Because you had COVID 1 week. Yeah. And so we're shooting 15 days, middle of year 2 of the pandemic, or year 3 in 2022. So the first week, I didn't have my first AD because my first assistant director, he got sent home because he tested positive for COVID. So he's speaking to me through an iPad. This was the general vibe. So then Rebecca, unfortunately, after her first day, she tested positive for COVID. So we had to shoot all of the scenes that she was that she was in with a body double. And got creative. But then eventually, you know, we're reviewing the footage and we're like, I need to get her face in here. I need her close-ups. Like, give me one more day. And so the producers agreed to give us one more day. But we were in Los Angeles and we had shot this film in Louisville in Kentucky. So the locations were done, no longer available to us. So we're at this mausoleum in LA. We have to shoot the scene where Joy turns into the Virgin Mary. We have to shoot all of Bella's coverage, praying to her, getting spooked. And then we have to shoot Bella burning. And the most emotional part of the film, or one of, you know, the emotional cores of the film, which is Gigi confronting Claire, telling her, what is it that you do at night? You have to tell me. And that was scheduled for daytime, and kind of was the burning of Bella. We wanted it to have some pigment in the sky. So the day goes by, of course. It's winter, 5 p.m., the sun goes down. It's dark out. No pigment. So do we want a sunset? Forget about it. It's night. We're burning Bella. Gigi, Rebecca comes up to me, she goes, Mitzi, you still have our scene to shoot, right? I'm like, yeah, I do. And she goes, wasn't it supposed to be daytime? And I'm like, yeah, it was supposed to be daytime. But I was like, don't worry, Luca's gonna make the sun appear from somewhere. He's got it. He's gonna turn it into daytime. So I feel like that was probably the hardest, because when you're in the 15-day vacuum or like a fast shooting schedule, like, you turn into a psychopath and you just do it. But then like that 16-day was like, how have I done this for 15 times prior to this, shooting 9 pages a day? So that was just funny, because you were like, you know, it's night out. I'm like, yeah, no, I know.
And look at how that scene turned out.
Yeah, but so that very emotional scene, we were rehearsing, and I love that she was, you know, somebody else could have been like, I just want to get out of here. And instead she was like, no, I don't like this line, I feel fake, let's make it better. And then it frankly turned into one of the best scenes of the film.
But it actually was fortuitous that I actually got COVID back then, because when you saw the whole film,
Yeah.
and then the scene actually got better in terms of the writing of it, that it got more fleshed out. So everything kind of happens for a reason, right?
Big believer in that. Joe, you want to take us back to the other question?
Yeah, well, back to giving Mitzi her flowers.
Yes,
That's where we
please.
were. Okay. Like they said, through all of the chaos and turmoil, and like with such a limited time and COVID, and all of those things happening, as an actor, it was just so comforting to have a director that you trust. And like through it all, she had our backs. Like, I got you. Nope, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get the scene. And I just remember the first day I got to set, there's like this like 6'2", I don't know how tall you are, Mitzi, with like yoga pants, a bralette, and then like this like costume jacket. I think it was the car flipping day. And I go, whoa, who's that? That's Mitzi? That's the director? And I think stereotypically you don't expect like beautiful women to get the job done. She came in like a pit bull. She was like, this goes in, no, I need this, I need that. And I was like, oh, let's rock and roll. I was so impressed, like to this day. Even like the scene where Juliana is like washing up in the shower.
Yeah, I know, it's my house.
That was Mitzi's house in LA. She's like, Joy, don't kill me. Can you just do me this favor? We need one more thing. Like this project was really her baby. Like outside of her dog Bojack, I think this is like the closest thing to her child. And I was like, sure, let's go. So I'm in her shower with like was it like corn syrup? I don't even know what we use for blood, but and Luca is like holding a camera. I was like, this is passion. Safety. I felt safe. In the most bizarre situation. Like 16 and a half.
At my house where cameras are still rolling.
She's like, I'll feed you. Just come. Yeah, no, we were the crew, the three of us.
Crew of three.
That's what you gotta do, and it pays off. I'll stick with the two of you a little longer to talk about another collaborator you both share. Of course, we have to highlight Bella a little, and I am just absolutely obsessed with people who find like a top tier scene partner and what you're able to find in your own character, but only by sharing them with that scene partner. So can you tell us something about your characters that you only found by working on them opposite Bella?
I think Bella changed Juliana a lot for me because by nature I tend to be very trusting and kind, and Juliana is a little bit more reserved, but Bella is super reserved as Claire and as Bella and Claire. And so it kind of gave me a level of like deeper, like if I trust this girl and she trusts me, it's because we had something deep, because we're both pretty kind of like, and then by the time we got to that scene where she found me, we had kind of had enough personal moments as Joy and Bella and as Juliana and Claire to just really go there and feel safe. Another thing, it's like I'm in a dungeon. I kid you not, location. Oops, it was not all props. Like I think I was on that bed and I was like, is this toenail and roach ours or is it real? Pop's like, hold on, that's not ours. I was like, it's okay, but it makes it more authentic. So then you're in that environment and like it feels, it helps add to your character. And then Bella comes in and it's just like a breath of fresh air, and Juliana and Claire just able to lay it all out in that little dirty dungeon with the roaches and the toenails, and there was a toilet.
We didn't put you there. We would never, Rebecca.
Yeah.
We make up the
There was
roaches
a
out
toilet. But yeah, I think our characters together and the environment totally changed a lot.
How about for you, Rebecca?
Bella was, well, I have two daughters that are in their 20s, and it was a beautiful dynamic. I think Bella and I trusted each other really quickly. I think we had kind of something very strongly in common, just innately. But Bella in that performance, I didn't know Bella prior, and I don't really know her that much, but when we were together in Taormina, she was certainly different than Claire. But as Claire, she was very, it was a very quiet performance that I was very impressed by, but because the quiet that she had was not an empty quiet. Like there was something very powerful and mysterious always lurking underneath. So playing her guardian, was sort of perfect because she was so quiet and so internal, so that she wasn't giving me, I couldn't quite figure out what was going on with her, which was perfect, because Gigi can't either. Gigi's a very different kind of spirit, but I think she walked the walk of that character the entire time we were shooting. And it was a heavy burden to carry.